There's a dude right over here. That's crazy. He's right at 120 something. That's crazy.
Oh, I got him!
Yes!
Yeah, bro.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, bro.
I see him.
I left a little sliver at the top.
Imagine
9 deaths.
those corners in the map don't have like.
Oh, baby!
Just finished the one.
All right, one on the roof still. Yeah!
I didn't even know we were down to just us and them.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul. All right, end of the song. Anyways, hey, where are you guys going? There we go, baby. Night, night. Oh my gosh.
Raiden just cut that corner. Oh my god, shit. Oh my god, sorry, Dobie. I am so sorry, everyone. You're fine. I saved it.
Let's go! Yes! So Drew and the guy in front of him both have penalties. I'm gonna push Boots the best I can. Let's go! Let's go! My wedding day, the birth of my son, an American finishing first at Le Mans. Yeah! Yes! Woo! Dallas, get the party room started. Woo! That's right, Snosberry. Defending American soil with American muscle. Hell yeah! Woo! Good evening. How are you all doing tonight? What's going on in Dallas? Good evening. Oh, I don't like the position of this camera, but we'll fix it. Oh, anyways, hope you guys are doing well. It's been a hot minute. I've been busy with life and whatnot. Hope you all are doing great. We're going to do some Gran Turismo tonight. We're going to work on some not sport mode stuff. So we have weekly challenges. Well, I'll for the most part, let you guys pick my car. There's one instance for sure you can't. It's a one make. But we've been grinding a little bit. We've been doing missions, licenses, working on getting times in the top 10 globally for some of those. I think we have one where we are 5th in the world time-wise for right now. We've been doing time trials. We've been working on our racecraft, on our pace. And so we've been doing stuff off stream. I know I haven't been streaming much I haven't streamed at all the last 2 weeks. And with the baseball season, a lot going on. And to be frank, not sure how much time will be spent on Twitch going forward. I don't know if that's where I need to be to grow this community, especially within the Gran Turismo space. So Twitch streams may become less and less, but on the flip side, we'll increase our time over here on YouTube. But I like YouTube as well. I mean, YouTube's got, you know, for my money, it looks better because I can run at 1440. So I can run it at a higher resolution, a higher bit rate. So the game looks better. I look better. And so in any case, so man, I don't know if is that a bruise or what the hell that is right there? I don't know what the hell oh, you know what that might be? That might be for my baseball hat. I don't know. I got this big old line right across my forehead. Maybe from wearing the baseball cap, and just maybe I need to let the sun hit me a little bit more up here at the top of my head. That's rough. Holy cow. Also could just be the lights in here bouncing off. Anyways, before we do anything though, we are going to get our we are on lesson or devotion number 27 in our 101 devotions for men. I appreciate that, Dallas. All right, this is lesson number 27 or devotion number 27, setting priorities. What are the things that matter most in life, that are true priorities? How can we distinguish true priorities from lesser ones? The answer is this: don't confuse what's urgent with what's important. You must set your priorities first. Don't let everyone else decide for you what your day should look like. That should be between you and God. If you make God your first priority, He will give you the proper perspective on the rest of the activities in your day. Ask God to show you what is worth being concerned about. So it's kind of funny that the after being out for 2 weeks or not streaming for 2 weeks, that our first devotion back is about setting priorities, because one of my priorities, or the way I've set my priorities, has kept me away from streaming a little bit over the last couple of weeks. And that's the biggest thing, is because of baseball season, right? My son and I coach baseball together. We coach T-ball at this year. We're coaching T-ball together. And so that is a priority for me. And work is a priority for me. And so is church. And so because of that, some things have to kind of fall back a little bit. And so for this year, or this season, I should say, you know, Gran Turismo and streaming has kind of been a lesser priority. Now, once we get done with baseball here in a few weeks, you know, streams will ramp back up. I've got some ideas for things we're going to do on stream within the Gran Turismo space. So regardless of what your driver level is, you'll still be able to participate here on stream. But it's all about setting priorities. And while the stream is still a priority for me, because it's also a vehicle for me to share God's word, so is coaching baseball, right? In fact, coaching baseball, I'm able to help a lot of young men, you know, kids 4, 5, 6 years old who don't normally have a whole lot of structure, or don't normally, you know, interact with a lot of other people, and get to show them what baseball is. Because baseball is a great sport for any age, right? It's not so much about how fast you are, how strong you are. You know, there's a lot to do with baseball, you know, and a lot of it's all up in your head, right? How you think before every pitch. I mean, getting off the subject here, but, you know, the stream, while it is a priority at this season of my life, baseball is a bigger priority. And we all go through seasons where our priorities may shift. But no matter where our priorities shift to, if we're not asking God to help us with those priorities, help tell us what our priorities should be, then you know, to be a little crass, we're just pissing in the wind, right? So we have 4 Bible verses about setting priorities and about seeking God. Seek his, the first one is in Proverbs 3, verse 6. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. The second one is from Luke chapter 12, verse 34. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. You know, that's really easy. If you're chasing money, right? Well, that's where your heart's going to go to. If you are chasing fame, that's where your heart is going to. We're not supposed to do those things, right? We're supposed to do things according to God's will. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 11. As I looked at everything I had worked so hard to accomplish, it was all so meaningless, like chasing the wind. There was nothing really worthwhile anywhere. So if you chase these earthly possessions as opposed to a relationship with God, then, you know, I said earlier, you're pissing in the wind. Here, you're chasing the wind, okay? And then finally, Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything that you need. So again, that was devotion number 27 in our 101 Devotions for Men. Oh, so how have you been doing, my friend Dallas? Hope you've been well. So we have 5 weekly challenges we need to try to do before we do any of them. There we go. You know what? I'm going to do the limited. So this one is Blue Moon Bay is a 1 make, meaning I can only select one type of car. So you guys don't get to pick what I get to choose here. We are going to put sports softs on it. So we'll get this one out of the way, and then we'll go through the next ones. I'm going to actually turn braking zone on only because I do not know the braking zone for this car at this track. So we are going to turn the braking area on. Also, while I'm talking with you guys, I don't get distracted. And I appreciate you saying you'll follow me wherever I go, Dallas. That does mean a lot. I know it's really hard for a lot of content creators to swap platforms. And that is honestly one reason why I have not swapped to predominantly YouTube sooner. Was because, of course, I had a fairly decent following on Twitch. You know, we're not a partner or anything over there, but this car is kind of a pig. I have 5 laps to do this, okay. This car actually has better brakes than I was expecting. Watching TikTok more? Yeah. I can't stream over on TikTok. I don't have enough followers there yet. And the little studio doesn't work. They don't have a Mac version of the little studio that allows people under a certain threshold to stream, so. And I'm not setting up a Windows machine just for that, you know what I mean? Plus, I don't think I'm going to be multi-streaming much anymore because it's way too hard for me to try to keep up with two chats. Well, let's be real. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with one chat. Hey, what do you gotta give me a little bit of room here, buddy? What's going on, MJ? I probably did not give it enough room. Actually, hold on a second. I want to do something real quick. There we go. All right, MJ, refresh your page and say something. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, Dallas, to your point about having fun, that's one reason why I'm not doing sport mode nearly as much as I had been. I need to take a break from it. I need to find some pace again. There you go, MJ. I drove that corner too deep. So only change I did to this car was I threw sports soft tires on it instead of sports hard tires. Other than that, still the stock Vantage. Woo! But yeah, Dallas, that's one reason why I've not been playing as much sport mode as I needed to. I was starting to really get frustrated with myself and really starting to dislike the game. And it's not so much that there's a lot going on in Gran Turismo right now in general, and I think one of the biggest issues is the lack of racecraft. And part of that has to do with some of the decisions PD has made, right? And so unfortunately, you know, if you look at the intro video, you know, that last race at Daytona in the Manufacturers Cup, I've got Super Suppido behind me, right? And a great fight with it, or not a great fight, but a great, you know, battle there at the end with him. Well, he's now, up in top split. Yeah, well, and see, going back to the conversation we just had about priorities, Dallas, you know, I don't have the time to continue to work on myself as a sim racer, coach baseball, work, church, and play Fallout. I'm fully expecting once baseball dies down, I can stream more and I can play more Fallout as well. So I will be back to Fallout. I just don't have the time right now. You know, baseball season's a pain. I do miss having time to race in leagues, which got me to thinking about the conversation we had earlier, MJ. I really don't want to build a NASCAR style season and not be able to race in it. So that may be a season I have to hold off on. You know what I mean? Because I want to be able to race in that. And then, what, 10 days? Doom Dark Ages comes out. I'm excited about that. later this year, the iRacing NASCAR game comes out for console. Yeah, and that's maybe what we have to do, MJ. Is save that NASCAR season for later in the year. Like you said, the quieter winter season. Yeah, I definitely want to come back to Fallout some, Dallas. It'll probably be off stream, so it'll probably be a couple nights a week. I'll probably set something up in Discord for, you know, to play. So real quick, because I'm going to brag on myself real quick. Let's just, So a lot of what I've been doing is, like I said, missions and licenses, and I'm trying to get gold on all the original licenses. I got 2 more left to get gold on, but while doing that, I may have gotten a top 10 globally time here for one of these missions. I was pretty proud of that. Unfortunately, I didn't save the replay for it. I'm also looking at getting another chair, a different chair for the rig. But yep, we have a top 5 time of 22 seconds. This is a fun little mission. All right, why are you way over here now? They must have changed something, because usually he is on this line right here. It's gonna be a 0.3, yeah. I should never have shifted up to 4th. I gotta rev this sucker out. As I immediately shifted up to 4th. Gonna be close. 0.2. I need to shave about a 1/10 off my time, so about 2/10 off of that. That's what I really want. I want to try to get that sub 22 second time. All right, let's keep it in 3rd, because that means I can break a little bit later. Oof. Not that late. That's a 0.3. There's a marker I can tell. I want to get to, there's a certain marker. I'll pause it. I'll try to pause it. Yeah, okay. Too deep. So, not the 100-meter board in front of me, but the flag, the digital flag board in front of that. I want to hit that at about 20 seconds. Because right now I'm about, what's that? That's going to give me about a 0.2? Yeah, probably a 0.3. I want to hit that at 20 seconds. All right, we have to break much sooner. It's gonna be close. Ooh, a 22-1. I need to shave another 10th plus off, like 0.101. I just need to shave just barely over a 10th off. We're going back to weekly challenges here in a minute. Nope. I really think coming out of that turn in third is going to be quicker. I tried coming out in second there and it just... Nope, 0.1. 0.2. All right, that's enough for now. We'll come back to that at some point. All right, let's go back to the weekly challenges. All right. Next one is, we got the one make knocked out of the way, so now we get to, I take suggestions from you guys. We have the European Sunday Cup 500. So the key is we need to keep it, I want to keep it around 500. Or it has to be an European car manufacturer and a road car. So if we sort this by performance points, so 500 is the max that I want to use. We could run the 300 SL Coupe. We could run the Mini. Mini might not be half bad to run. We can pick a Porsche, a Ferrari. So chat, this is where I'm going to leave it up to you to kind of give me suggestions what you want to see me run. I'd rather not go over 500 if I have to. The 300 SL's okay to go over 500 just because it's by fractions. Same with the Megane. I really like the Mini Cooper though. Some of these cars we could probably throw better tires on too and still stay under the 500. Which one, Dallas? You want the 05 or the 65? The 65 is probably a little light. We probably want to run the 05. 65 will probably get its teeth kicked in. Let's run the 05. Brands Hatch, huh? Yeah, the 05, yeah. All right, 2 laps. Man, this thing handles so nicely around here. I'm not catching on the leader, though. Maybe a little bit. What's going on, MJ? Oof. Switched over to the Mac. Nice. Don't think I'm going to catch the leaders. And Mini Cooper's not doing bad. Not doing bad. It's just a little lacking here or there. Well, we got within, what, 1.2? Let's try that again. Let's see if we can't get this bad boy into first. A little bit of a bumper tap never hurt anybody, right? Did slow me down a little bit. Yeah, we need to make a... We probably need to remake the suit too. I want to keep WRC coloring on it, but we can talk offline. These are daily challenge or weekly challenges, so I'm not sure I get to choose the AI difficulty. We're doing weekly challenges, and for this one, Dallas picked the Mini Coupe. All right, we have an outside shot at the win now. I really don't want to be on the outside, but... Shut up, MJ. Oh no, there will be no meltdown. We'll just take your wrench away from you. I'm gonna lose a lot of time here, but I think I'm gonna make it up starting with this turn right here. Yeah, that was the whole point of me telling you to leave, to refresh and say something again. That was literally the whole point of that, MJ. Oof. I don't think I'm gonna have enough here. Ah, not enough. I mean, the Mindy's not bad. It's gonna be tough to get first here with it. We're gonna try one more time and then we'll switch to another weekly challenge. This little stretch right here, the Mini loses a lot of time. Come on, small BMW. Ooh, that was a 44 as well. Yep, that was a 44.6 at the end. The little BMW did. All right. On to the next challenge. Pickup truck race at Willow Springs. I'm not driving the Toyota, so we're going to drive the Ford. Oh, I need to... That's right, MJ. Easy. Something American. That's right. There's no Chevy trucks in this game. Driver adjustment. If you know, you know. I do like driving in VR in the trucks because you sit so high up. Ooh, I almost ate his tailgate. Dirty tires, uh-oh. Hey, look, it's Randy. I don't think this Raptor's stock anymore. I think I may have put something in it. Could be just the tires, the fact that I've got sports softs on. Nice, MJ. Oh, there's a curb there. Gotta stay on the road. Ooh, a 23 on the last lap. All right, let's go on to the next challenge. We have 2 left. 2 weekly challenges left. The Nordschleife? Really? All right. So, we have to have less than 580 performance points, and it has to be a car from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. What's our 580? Really, MJ? The Superbird? I mean, I will, but I think that's going to be... We'll try it. I said chat gets to pick. I am keeping the racing softs on it. Gosh. Gosh. Oh. Oh, yeah, the body roll is going to be a pain on this thing. There's no 5th gear. On my way. Oof. I'm not gaining on the leaders, though. that was sketch. Excuse me. Hold on, MJ. Oh, God. This thing wants to kill me every turn. I don't know how I got through there without turning that thing sideways. Oh, the jump. Oh, boy. Am I going to have enough speed to worry about it, though? Oh, gosh. Curbs are death. MJ, I don't use the word hate very often. I really dislike you right now. Felt that in my butthole. That made the whole rig rattle. What the? Why are you braking in front of me? That's not a brake zone. This is not a car that was made for the Nordschleife. All right, here comes the jump. Hold on to your panties, chat. Could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, I had to brake before there. As fast as this car goes. Gosh. hell? This may not be enough of a lead. That was rough, MJ. You jerk. That was rough. Yeah, I knew when I had, even though I had a 7-second lead going into Dampner, that it wasn't enough. All right, we're gonna watch that. I want to stand up. Hold on, I gotta back up. Hold on, I gotta go back to the beginning of this thing. Look at this, not right here. Look at the size difference. There's just a little bit of a size difference. Gosh. So wild to think about, like, how big this car is. You don't really realize it when you're racing, right? When you're in the drive, when you're actually racing, right, in the driver's seat. Look at Just look at the size difference between this car and everything else so far. And I can tell you, as somebody who has a boat, you know, the 68 Impala, it handles about like this. It is big, it's cumbersome, it rolls, it yaws and pitches. Watching the grass, like on that turn where I caught grass, I love watching the grass get thrown out onto the track. This whole section was scary right down through here. I'm surprised I didn't eat it here. I'm surprised that car did not just... Yeah, I'm surprised I made it through there at all. I hit the brakes way too late for this section. This wasn't too bad right here. But this is where I knew I was going to be in trouble later. Going up this hill, I think I was in third by this point, and I wasn't catching the leaders on this straight. I knew I was in trouble. I think I had down to 4 seconds, and it got up to like 7 seconds. What saved me is the very end of this. Well, probably the kink up here too. I think. Not this kink. This one right here, I think, helped me a ton. Because I don't have enough speed to... Yeah, this one right here. I don't have enough speed, so I don't need a brake. They had to hit the brakes some. Then, of course, they have to hit the brakes early before carousel. Carousel wasn't too bad, but I swear I felt the front nose hit. We'll see. Because the whole rig vibrated. See. There's gonna be a good shot of it too. Nope. It just complained going through carousel. That whole rig shook on that. Man, I felt like Superman passing the Lambo there. Little did I know what was coming. We got the jump here, but thankfully I have to slow down before the jump. A little bit of a hop, a little bunny hop. So here I was really able to start stretching the lead out, right? Man, that thing is out of control, dude. And I can tell you, going over those curbs, this car definitely would do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was cooked. I knew once I got onto the straight I was gonna get caught in a heartbeat. Yep, you can see him starting to chase me down already. Because I'm hitting, what, 130 max speed? There's nothing left in it. You know, you got a land yacht, you're trying to get down the road. I think it was key to stay in front of the car in third, because that let me make a run on the Lambo here. And then I really forgot after the little couple turns here what the ending was like. Well, the land yacht did it. Wasn't pretty, but it did it. Oh. Oh, we'll save that replay. Look at all these cute little sports cars. And then the land yacht. Well, I wanted to see something. Yeah, Brands Hatch does have a Sophie race. There's so many Sophie tracks now. I like to see that. Wish there was a Sophie race at Northern Isle. Alright, the last one's going to be a longer race, right? We're at Fuji. $800 or less, so basically GR3s, right? We need something that's going to last. We need something that's not going to chew tires, is not going to kill fuel. What's our fuel? 8 tired rate and it's a 10-lap race, and it's probably going to have rain. Yeah, GR3 cars are our competition. But 800 or less. Nah. We jump in the CLK. That might be overkill. Also rain. We gotta remember rain. It's very possible. I know I'm partial to the vet, but it's gotta be something I have rain tires in. What do I got for tires on this? Racing mediums? I think I have the wets as well in the intermediates. I mean, let's stay in the GR3 range. I mean, that might be overkill. Alright, we're gonna do the vet. Alright, I've got to not burn through fuel. We're gonna start on, well, we may not start on the softs, but we're definitely gonna run, at least possibly run the softs. I hear rain. It looks like it's gonna be rain, rain, and more rain. Lightened up for a little bit. We're gonna start on the wets. We also have to turn the traction control up. This is not the right car for this. Car's got too much horsepower. We're not gonna do the vet. The vet's got way too much horsepower and too much torque. At least for the wet. Let's try it. It's gonna be raining. I think there's going to be the same issue. Actually, this feels a lot better than the vet did. The vet felt like it was out of control the whole time. Man, this is a massive pain. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not the easiest. I'm also trying to do it in the Viper. Yeah, a lot of them are coming out on intermediates. If I can get this line to dry just a little bit more over the next 2 laps, if I can survive 2 laps, I might be able to get on the racing tires. Then I have to stay in the racing line exactly. So the intermediates are probably going to be the play. Gosh. Gotta save a little bit of fuel here too. Dang it. I'm gonna come out way behind. I don't think I can even pretend to do the racing slicks. Or maybe I can. We're gonna have to if we want to win it. Problem is, I don't think I can keep it on the racing line. Oof. That's a penalty. Yeah. Yeah, I should have done the racing slicks. Problem is, if I get into the wet like that, I'm screwed on those racing slicks. These intermediates are already tore up. Yeah, I should have done the racing slicks. Yep, I definitely should have done the racing slicks. Yeah, there's no grip left for this thing. This is definitely a tough combo. Oh, the heck with it. Yep, I should have stayed on the wets and then switched over to softs and just babied them. Even though I don't even know if the softs are gonna last or not. Yep. I knew that. I tried to get out from behind that car. Do we maybe try the intermediates to start with? Baby our gas. And then switch. Is there even going to be a car left by the time I can get to my racing slicks? I want to take it nice and easy. I want to conserve fuel. I want to survive. If I can get 6 laps, and that's going to be tough on this car. but if I can get to lap 6 and then pit. I can run the last 4 on the slicks and maybe I have to stay in the racing line, but I might be able to sneak one out then. Yeah, it is definitely, we're getting a little bit more fuel mileage. We just have to be very careful coming out of the pits on those softs. And I think this is going to be a thirsty boy on the racing slicks, so. If I can stay in the racing line on those slicks, I should be okay. Right now we're just doing a lot of fuel saving to make sure we can get through 6 laps. But I think we can actually race more in the racing line a little bit. We still want to be careful of these tires. We don't want to burn them up too much. Now the ions are starting to wear a little bit. Oh. And now they're going to be wet and dirty. That's all right. We can keep doing this. We lost a little bit of time there. I don't know if these are going to dry enough. Well, that was going well. We still got to stop for gas once. I mean, she was doing all right. I don't know why that time she decided to, unless I'm just in the line too much and it's too slick. She is raining much harder now. Yeah, she's definitely wet now. Yeah, she didn't dry out like the last time. I still think she's going to dry out. The only other option is to really baby that fuel, get through 7. And then pray. But I'm gonna have to turn fuel mapping down. Yeah. This is definitely a tough one. That one burst of heavy rain cost me big on lap 6. Yeah, I'm not in love with that. I'm not sure which one's going to be redder to start with. That one little downpour I just have to do a better job of watching the moisture and see how moist the track gets. That's really what it's going to be. I need to watch out for lap 6. Lap 6 gets hairy because there's like another outburst of rain. Do I need to look at Discord? Is that what you're trying to tell me, or are you just being a good admin or moderator? Just a good mod? Okay. Well, I appreciate that. be careful the next 2 laps. We got a heavy downpour coming. That thing started to fishtail on me. thank you. Oh, we're gonna try softs. What the heck? We're gonna try it. May kill us, but easy coming out of the pits. No, stop. Don't do that. Stop playing in the rain. Oh, nope. That's too bad. take enough gas, and the softs weren't enough to help me. Yeah. But it's just a medium race. Yeah, it's just a medium, or not a medium, a intermediate race. That's all it is. Even 2 laps on softs at the end don't help me. I think probably what I'm going to end up doing is just going intermediate 5 laps. And 5 laps again, just do 2 5-lap stints. But we will have to do that another time. Yeah, or a different car. I'm just curious. I want to try something real quick. I don't want to do this. I'm just curious how this holds up. I'm just curious. It's probably gonna kill me. I'm just curious. If this even has enough fuel. This may not have enough fuel. This is not even fair, though. This is a completely different class of car. But it is under 800, right? And it gets great gas mileage. A lot better than I thought. I wonder if it could no stop with intermediates. It might be able to. I mean, it's the only non-GR3 car in the field, right? Yeah, this isn't fair. I just gotta keep it in wet as much as possible now. And not spin it. I mean, that quick burst of rain helps get the track cool again, so maybe my intermediates will hold on it near the end. Because the racing line's wet again, which is good. But it's only going to be wet for a couple of laps. And it's going to dry out in a hurry. I just got to hope my intermediates are going to last that long. I love this car. The first car I won a race in Gran Turismo on. No, second race. I think it was my first race at Le Mans I won in this thing. I love this car. Trying to conserve just a little bit of fuel as well. Another quick outburst or downpour of rain does not hurt me either. I can talk, sort of, but yeah, another downburst of rain does not hurt me any. Ooh, I almost lost it there. But yeah, this is... I mean, technically it is an under 800 car, so... Only because I had the mediums on it. Gotta be careful with those curves. I don't want to. Yeah, this rain is definitely helping me. That was scary. I was almost off the track there. That dry line starting to come in. It's still a little moist. Oof. We went a little deep there. What are all those guys pitting for? Fuel? Okay. These tires are gonna get me through the end of the race, but they're in some sad shape if I had to go much longer. Ooh, a 39. Okay, this was totally overkill, but it was under 800. Sure, I had to put the medium, or I didn't put them on, they were already on, but sure, the medium tires were on it, right? $200,000 plus the 500 for finishing all the weekly challenges. So my favorite weekly challenge in Dallas, you know, this was your call, was the Brands Hatch one. That was fun. That's a fun little race in that little car. That was the first one, right? Yeah. The truck one was okay. The Nürburgring one was wild. I mean, that was definitely my second favorite one of the week, especially with that last minute dive to get first in it. Let's open up some tickets real quick. I might want to put some oil in this thing first. I didn't realize how loud that was. I turned the PS5 all the way up. Didn't need to be. All right, tickets. Helps if you actually go to the right freaking place. Or don't back out of it, I should say. I don't back out. We already got 950. Now, the one thing I didn't want, I would have even taken the car. All right, come on, big money. Oh, well. These tickets are garbage tonight. Not even just a simple 500 grand. There'll be parts. Nope. Oh, it's gonna be parts anyways. So we're at 980. Now granted, that's also weekly challenge tickets as well, which kind of skews it, but I'll take it. Really only about 30 grand out of regular tickets. I'll take that. That's another 100 grand. So that's just over $1 million tonight with tickets. Granted, 950 were, but that's what? It was 980, 1080, so 1,080,000. That's not bad. Don't think there's anything in here I need. I think I've gotten everything. Yep. Oh, let's look at Legends cars, even though I can't really afford anything of that I need. Nope. I'm short on that by about 5 million, short on that by 18 million. All right, chat, we are going to call it a night. I want to thank you all for hanging out. There's no rating over here on the YouTube, so I am just going to go to the stream ending scene. But I want to thank you, Dallas and MJ, for hanging out with me tonight, and all you lurkers as well. Thank you very much. And I'm not sure when we're going to stream next, but just keep an eye here on the YouTube channel. And until next time, y'all take care of yourselves and each other. And have a great rest of your night. And if I don't see you before the Monday, have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.